I saw this quote from Epictetus, and it stopped me in my tracks. Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. That hit hard, because so many times I've told myself I'm fine when I wasn't. I've blamed the world, my past, the people around me. But if I'm being honest, the real war wasn't out there. It was in my own perception, my own refusal to tell myself the truth. In this video, we're going to talk about the brutal but freeing power of self-honesty, the kind Stoicism demands. Not honesty to others, not yet, but honesty with yourself. What happens when you finally stop lying to yourself? As a man, when you stop pretending you're fine and start facing your life without the filters, without the armor. This might sting, but it might also set you free. So here's my truth, and maybe it'll help you face yours too. The silent war within as men, we're taught to be strong, steady, unfazed. We learn early that showing emotion makes us weak, that silence equals power. But here's the truth. Silence can also be suffocation. Sometimes the hardest person to be honest with is ourselves. We tell ourselves lies to keep functioning. I'm fine. This is just how life is. Other guys have it worse. But these aren't facts. These are coping mechanisms, stories we repeat so we don't have to face the pain, the disappointment, the truth that something's not right. Stoicism doesn't ask you to run from pain. It asks you to face it with discipline, with clarity, with courage. It asks you to strip away the lies and meet reality on its own terms. Because real strength, that's honesty, quiet, unshakable truth. Why we lie to ourselves, there's a reason men lie to themselves. We grow up thinking value comes from performance. You're only as good as your last achievement. Your worth is measured in what you produce, how much you provide, how well you protect. So we hustle, we grind, we numb ourselves to the ache. We say, I just need to work harder. If I keep pushing, it'll get better. But underneath all that drive is often a deeper belief. I am not enough unless I'm achieving. And that's the real truth we avoid. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. What stands in your way right now is not your boss, not your girlfriend, not your past. It's your refusal to tell yourself the truth. Because once you do, you can start to change. The warning signs you're avoiding the truth, you know you're lying to yourself when your body starts sending signals. You're always tired, even after sleep. You dread Mondays more than usual. You feel a heaviness in your chest for no reason. Your mind replays the same argument, the same scenario, over and over. These are symptoms, not of weakness, but of unresolved truth. Another red flag? You feel emotionally numb. You go through the motions. You show up, but you're not present. You're always fine, but never fulfilled. That emotional numbness is your body's way of saying, we've been avoiding something for too long. Your relationships start to follow patterns. You feel like you can never say what you really think. You're always the one fixing things. You're surrounded by people, yet feel completely alone. These are all signs you're not being honest with yourself or with others. Real stories, real struggle. A man came to me once. Let's call him Mark. He was 42, married, had 2 kids. He sat across from me and said, everything's good. I just want to work on time management. But I noticed the way he avoided talking about his wife, the way he changed the subject when his home life came up. Then one day I asked, what's a typical evening like at home? He paused. He looked down. And then he said, we don't really talk. We just coexist. That was a crack. The truth started leaking out. I haven't felt connected to her in years, but I keep pretending it's just a phase. We lie to ourselves about our relationships. We think it's kinder, less disruptive, but pretending only prolongs the damage. Another man I worked with was in his late 30s. From the outside, he had the perfect life, high-paying job, beautiful family, social circle. But every week he talked about feeling anxious and lost. After months of sessions, he finally said the truth out loud. I hate my job. I've hated it for years. He convinced himself to be grateful, to suck it up, to not be ungrateful. But he was slowly dying inside. The cost of self-deception. We think we're protecting ourselves by avoiding the truth. But what we're really doing is building a life we can't fully live in. Because a man who lies to himself can't show up fully in any relationship. Not with his partner, not with his children, not with his friends, not even with himself. You become a ghost in your own life. You're there, but not real. You're saying the right things, but they're empty. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You cannot master yourself while hiding from your own truth. The biggest mistake men make when men finally face the truth, they often think they have to change everything overnight. Quit the job, end the relationship, move to a different city. But that's not how growth works. That's not how Stoicism works. The Stoics believe in reasoned action, not impulsive escape. You don't burn your life down. You observe it clearly, and then you act with intention. The first step is not action. It's awareness. How to start telling yourself the truth. Here are 7 tools to help you start the process. Quietly, gently, with strength. 1. The "if I'm being honest" prompt. In your journal or your phone, start with, "If I'm being honest, I'm not happy. If I'm being honest, I feel lost." Let the sentence guide you past your defenses. 2. The body check. Before making decisions, scan your body. Tightness equals something's off. Lightness equals something's aligned. Your body always knows the truth before your mind is ready to accept it. 3. Ask, "What would I tell brother?" We're often kinder and more insightful with our closest friends and with ourselves. If your best friend was in your shoes, what would you tell him? Now tell yourself that. For the October 10th, 10 rule. How will you feel about this truth in 10 minutes? 10 months? 10 years? This helps you see past fear into long-term clarity. 5. Start with low-stakes truth. Practice being honest in small moments. "I'm not up for going out tonight. I don't like that show. I'm tired." These micro-truths build your strength to face bigger ones. 6. Find a mirror, not a judge. Talk to someone who can reflect your truth without shaming you. A mentor, a coach, a therapist, even a trusted friend. Don't isolate. 7. Start small if it's too scary. Instead of, "I want to quit my job," try, "I'm not fulfilled by my work." Instead of, "I need to leave this relationship," try, "I don't feel connected anymore." The smallest truth is still a truth. Start there. Remember this. The truth doesn't have to be a wrecking ball. It doesn't have to blow up your life. It can start as a whisper. If I'm being honest, you don't have to fix it all today. You don't have to have a perfect plan, but you do have to stop pretending. Because when a man stops lying to himself, he becomes powerful. You're not your pain. You're not your past. You're not your mistakes. You're your choices. And telling the truth is the first choice that leads to freedom. So maybe today, ask yourself, what truth have I been avoiding? And what might change if I stop running from it? If this video helped you, share it with a brother who needs to hear it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment with the truth you're facing right now. And remember, your silence doesn't make you strong. Your truth does. Be honest, be stoic, be free,